Good evening. My name is Adabepe Atanda, and I'm running for your 2013-2014 secretary. I recently became a member of BES and have since fell in love with the organization. Through this organization, I've grown so much professionally, and I've also gained a family. Because of this, I have a desire to see this organization grow. Working as part of the conference planning committee, as well as volunteering for BES events, I've seen that this organization has the ability to supersede being just Region 2 large chapter of the year, but be the distinguished chapter of the year. It is with this belief in mind that I come to you. In my capacity as secretary, I will increase the strength of the e-board in order to increase the strength of the overall organization. Speaking to several current e-board members, one of the greatest problems plaguing the e-board is poor communication. I plan on increasing the communication among e-board members to ensure that each member of the e-board knows what action items have been assigned to them and when they are due in order to stop any unequal distribution of work. I would also like to create an atmosphere where the e-board members can come and talk to me if they are feeling overwhelmed so that I can work with them in order to assist them in getting those action items completed. I'll also work to increase communication between our e-board and the REB by working closely with the Vice President to make sure monthly reports are sent out in a timely manner. Further, I plan on opening a line of communication between the e-board and the members. In my capacity as a member, I found that it is often difficult to know what was going on within the organization. I plan on implementing a State of the Chapter address to be given every semester by the e-board to the members, as well as working closely with the Public Relations Chair to make sure that information is disseminated properly. BES is a family. Without proper communication, a family cannot grow. I'm dedicated and driven, and I have the initiative to help make this organization reach new heights. Help me help you by voting me your 2013-2014 secretary.
I'm the type of person who's seen an empty water bottle on the ground and pick it up and put it in the recycling bin. I'm the type of person who stresses over her English 1 or 2 homework diagrams looking perfect. Haha, that was a pun. I'm the type of person who is dedicated to order, organization, and clarity in everything I do. Previous experience as secretary for 2 high school organizations has exposed me to the necessary duties of the position. I was responsible for relaying club information to and between the other leadership positions, maintaining all records and files that are vital to the flow of the meetings and activities, and submitting bi-weekly reports of the club's progress to the president and the vice president. And I assure you that with BES, I can do it again. Time is a very fickle being, but one who can manage time can manage life. A secretary who can manage the time devoted to her organization is unstoppable. In addition to carrying out the usual responsibilities of keeping attendance at meetings, collecting member information, and detailing every meeting and activity, I require that at the end of my term, all interested secretary-elects can carefully execute my duties at the second to last meeting. Though I haven't been very active in BES and other clubs this semester due to my efforts to improve my GPA, I do feel empowered whenever I'm around my fellow STEM majors, and I am proud to be on this team early on. With me as secretary, BES will stay in tip-top shape. I guarantee it or your money back. My name is Harisa Mohammed, and I hope you elect me as your 2013-2014 secretary.
All right. James, and then Owen.
One of the tasks as secretary is implementing action items to your chapter executive board. How do you figure to go about and making sure that the rest of the executive board are carrying out these action items in a timely manner and on point? And if they consistently don't carry out these action items, how do you plan to take the effect to properly handle that situation?
Like Adabepe said, communication is key to all the organizations on this campus. And I'll make sure that anybody who's going through having a hard time carrying out their duties can report to me if anything, or can report to any other e-board members to help them. Whenever you need help, it's better to, admit it and get help so that you can carry out whatever you need to do. Because as a responsibility, we have to carry out our responsibilities. But if we need help, it's always good to ask for help.
Also, I believe that's where the initiative comes in my part, is I have to keep my eyes, I have to keep my ears open. If I notice that this person is struggling and this person isn't getting their action items going on time, that's me, it's on me for me to send that email, send that text message, see them after BES meetings like, oh, do you need is there a problem? Do you need an extension in the deadline? If it's something that can be extended, I'll see if there's a way for me to distribute any of the work so that it can get done on time. Further, I feel like I know that there was a previous event protocol that was set in the e-board that wasn't really working. I feel like we can try that again, and this time instead of focusing on like punitive measures, focus on an award system. So if there's something where we see that an e-board member is constantly doing well, constantly, being on their grind, getting everything done on time, well, yeah, then we can award them. They can be probably something like as simple as being e-board member of the month, something to give them the recognition, like, oh, you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're staying on your task, and hopefully by recognizing those people that are doing those things, we can kind of give other people on e-board that incentive to continue to do better.
So once you got to the secretary, you're sort of to act like an observer. So you have to realize, you not only have to keep track of as everyone's doing their job, you have to realize where there are holes where someone can fill in. And a lot of times you have to take the initiative to complete tasks that are not within your job description. So I was wondering, how comfortable do you feel taking on tasks that aren't necessarily within your field? For example, I'm current secretary, and there was times when I had to help out with things, for example, with PCI or finance or something like that, which isn't something I'm used to. So how do you feel like you'd be able to do that well? Why?
I feel like I would be able to do that well because even currently right now, working closely with our previous treasurer, Stephanie, money isn't something that I'd like to work with, but when she came to us and I needed a committee, I was like, okay, if you need help, I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to do this for this organization that I believe in. I feel like it's important when you believe in something and when you want something to work that you go and you fill in every possible position. You have to be flexible. You can't just stick to something. You can't just stick to this is my job description. Because if I stick to this is my job description, nothing's going to get done on the e-board. The e-board is not going to work properly. And then that's where the whole miscommunication and unequal distribution of work is going to come in. If people keep constantly sticking to this is my job description, we have to be able to be flexible and help other people on the e-board.
I feel that it's very important to branch out and explore other avenues. It's what makes one a whole-rounded person. And I'm also the type of person who puts others before herself unintentionally. When I see somebody who needs help, I will reach out to them and I will try to communicate with them. So.
As secretary, you are essentially in the head of the communication zone within the board. So basically, you will have to oversee the public relations and telecommunication shares. Do you have any specific goals for those two positions? And if so, how do you plan to facilitate their goals and your goals for communication purposes?
Like I previously said in my speech, I want to implement a State of the Chapter address. And in that address, like they do in FRC, like we did in National, we'll see what we started with as a chapter and what we finished with as a chapter. That way the members know what's going on with the chapter. Further, when I want to work with the telecommunications to kind of fix up the website, because right now it's to kind of make it more user-friendly. No shots, just, work with I know a lot of people, I'm constantly on Twitter, like in class, I should be paying attention, but I'm constantly on Twitter. I feel like if we kind of pull a little BSU and just blow up people's Twitter feeds, blow up people's Facebooks, we'll get that communication that this is BES, this is where we are, make our presence known on campus, we'll get there, and we'll be in your face, definitely.
Once again, I feel like communication is key. I'm really good with text messaging. I feel like text messaging is it's a simple tool, but it's really effective. So also, Google Groups, we can all communicate at one time. So it's very important that we all are able to communicate at one time.
That concludes the question and answer.